Hello students, welcome to AKR chemistry classes. Today I am going to deal with third part of solutions of class 12. In this part I am going to teach you what is the meaning of azeotropic mixtures and types of azeotropic mixture. Then we will move towards very important concept, that is colligative property. So first, coming to what is the meaning of azeotropic mixture. Consider liquid A combines with liquid B. This is considered as solute and this is considered as solvent, both involved in the formation of binary solution. As soon as I get a binary solution, I will do the fractional distillation method to separate liquid A from liquid B. In the beginning, maybe the fractional distillation process takes place easily, but at one particular composition of X% of A and Y% of B is formed, where fractional distillation is not possible. In case of binary solution, at one particular composition of A and B, this is one particular composition. At one particular composition of the solution, A cannot be separated from B by any type of fractional distillation method, because both these components possess constant boiling point. Such composition is called as azeotropic mixture. So binary mixtures having same composition in liquid and vapor phase, both at X% of A and Y% of B at one particular composition where X is not equal to Y. This thing you should have to keep in mind. It forms one particular composition where the A and B percentage of X and Y either in liquid state or in vapor state remains same. Therefore, these two components cannot be separated by any method of fractional distillation because both possess same boiling point. Hence, they are called as azeotropic mixture. Very simple. Binary mixtures having same composition in liquid and vapor phase and boils at constant temperature without undergoing any change in composition. Now, types of binary solution. In that, first one is minimum boiling azeotropes. Non-ideal solutions which shows positive deviation from ideal behavior can exhibit minimum boiling azeotropes. Non-ideal solutions which show positive deviation. I taught what is the meaning of positive deviation and negative deviation in the last class. Still you are not perfect. Please go through that video before you come back to this concept. So they are given, for example, ethanol and water, and the azeotropic composition also they given when 95% of ethanol is present along with 5% by volume of water, then only it can form azeotropic mixture. Means if I combine 100 ml of ethanol as well as 100 ml of water to form binary solution, when in this composition 95% of ethanol when mixed with 5% of water H2O, then it is involved in the formation of azeotropic mixture. So here ethanol and water, we need to find out which is more volatile in nature. Ethanol is more volatile than water. The reason is, in case of water, one H2O is involved in the formation of 4 hydrogen bonds. One H2O molecule always involved in the formation of 4 hydrogen bonds. This we know. In chemical bonding we have been learnt. Whereas one molecule of ethanol involved in the formation of only one hydrogen bond, it indicates that ethanol easily get vaporizes when compared to the water. Now I am going to explain the concept of minimum boiling azeotrope by using two graphs. The first one is vapor pressure versus composition graph. Vapor pressure versus composition graph. This is mole fraction of water. This will be mole fraction of ethanol. Okay, this is pure form. From here to here I'm going to add ethanol. So this is composition graph, and this will be the vapor pressure. Okay, mole fraction of water is there. This is the mole fraction of ethanol. Water vaporizes less extent when compared to ethanol. So ethanol vapor pressure will be more. So this will be, I'm going to write the point. This is vapor pressure of pure ethanol. This will be the vapor pressure of pure ethanol, and this will be the vapor pressure of water. This will be the vapor pressure of water, pure water, because in case of water, due to the presence of hydrogen bondings compared to ethanol more number, it is less volatile than ethanol. So if I plot the graph for this, it will be like this. This above graph indicates liquid composition graph, below graph indicates vapor composition graph, and this is one particular point C where the composition of ethanol and water is 95% and 5%, 95% and 5%. Okay. Now in this graph you can observe this is the vapor pressure of pure ethanol, and this is the vapor pressure of pure water, and what does point C indicates? Azeotropic mixture, and this is the vapor pressure of azeotropic mixture, means the vapor pressure of azeotropic mixture, the vapor pressure of azeotropic mixture is greater than pressure exerted by the ethanol and pressure exerted by the water in its pure state, means here vapor pressure is maximum, therefore automatically boiling point will be minimum. That boiling point curve I am going to explain now. Temperature versus composition graph. Temperature versus composition graph. Okay, students, now I will write this side ethanol, and here I am going to write water. When I move here, I am going to fill the water. So now I should have to represent temperature with respect to temperature concept. Between ethanol and water, which possesses maximum boiling point, means water possesses maximum boiling point. Water has got boiling point nearly 100 degrees Celsius. It will be less than 100 degrees Celsius. So the reason is it easily vaporizes. Okay, as soon as it get vaporizes, the boiling point will be minimum. More or the boiling point is inversely proportional to volatile nature of liquids. Greater the volatile nature of liquids, lesser the boiling point. Therefore, ethanol is more volatile than water. Therefore, ethanol possesses lower boiling point. This is the boiling point of ethanol, and this is the boiling point of water. This is the boiling point of water. If I plot the graph, it will be like this. This is the liquid composition graph, and this will be the vapor composition graph. This is vapor phase, and this is liquid phase, and this is a particular point C indicates azeotropic mixture, and if you check the azeotropic mixture boiling point, it is here. So the boiling point of azeotropic mixture will be less when compared to the boiling points of both the pure solute as well as solvent. So this is such type of graphs are called as minimum boiling azeotrophs. Minimum boiling azeotrophs, the boiling point of these azeotrophs are lower than either of the components. When compared to both components, the boiling point of azeotrope will be minimum. Okay, students, please note it down. Next, coming to maximum boiling azeotrophs. Non-ideal solution which shows negative deviation. Non-ideal solutions which show negative deviation can exhibit this type of azeotrophs. Here I took an example, water and nitric acid. When 68% of nitric acid combines with 32% by mass of oxygen, then only it involved in the formation of azeotrope. 100% of nitric acid when combines with 100% of water, it forms only binary solution. But in that binary solution, if this composition comes 68% and 32%, then automatically it forms azeotropic mixture. Again, in case of water, one molecule of water can form 4 hydrogen bonds, and in nitric acid no hydrogen bonds. Therefore, water is less volatile and nitric acid is more volatile in nature. So first I am going to explain the concept by using vapor pressure versus composition graph. So this is the mole fraction of water maximum. Here the mole fraction of nitric acid is maximum. So I'm adding nitric acid to the water. I'm adding nitric acid to the water when I move from left to right hand side, and this is vapor pressure part. So nitric acid versus means nitric acid is more volatile than water. Therefore, this is the vapor pressure of nitric acid in its pure state, and this will be the vapor pressure of water in its pure state. Okay. Now, if I plot the graph, it will be like this. 68% of nitric acid, 32% of water to form azeotropic mixture. The point C indicates azeotropic mixture. This is the liquid composition of the binary solution. This will be the vapor composition of binary solution. So in this case you can observe the vapor pressure of pure component of water and nitric acid is greater than the vapor pressure of azeotropic mixture. The vapor pressure of azeotropic mixture will be minimum. The vapor pressure of azeotropic mixture will be minimum when compared to their pure component. Then automatically its boiling point should be maximum. To explain that, I should have to draw one more graph, that is temperature versus composition graph. Temperature versus composition graph. Mole fraction of nitric acid is maximum. Here mole fraction of water is maximum. Okay. So this is temperature graph, and this is we are adding water to the nitric acid. So we, as the volatile nature is more, boiling point will be minimum. Therefore this is boiling point of nitric acid, and this will be the boiling point of water. Boiling point of water. Now if I plot the graph, I will get the concepts like this. So 68% of nitric acid and 32% of water is mixed. So this is the liquid composition. This is the liquid composition of binary solution. This is the vapor composition of binary solution, and this is the point C. We got azeotropic mixture, and you can observe here the boiling point of azeotropic mixture is greater than boiling point of nitric acid as boiling point of water. Hence it is called as maximum boiling azeotropic mixture. Okay. Now, colligative property. The concept of colligative property is applicable only for dilute solution of non-volatile solutes. What is meant by dilute solution? Whenever a solid solute is made to combine with liquid solvent. Solid solute is made to combine with the liquid solvent. It involved in the formation of solution. The condition is the solid solute should be non-volatile in nature. And a minimum amount of solid solute should be dissolved in maximum volume of solvent. The minimum amount of solid solute should be dissolved in maximum volume of solvent. Then the obtained solution is also called as dilute solution. So what is meant by dilute solution? Minimum amount of non-volatile solid solute dissolved in maximum amount volume of solvent is called as dilute solution. For example, salt is dissolved in liquid water. So automatically we get salt solution. Okay, I think that I dissolved 1 gram of salt in 100 ml of water. Salt solution is obtained. Actually, the boiling point of water we know that 100 degrees Celsius. Now, whether the boiling point of salt solution will remain same or becomes more, it always more. We know that boiling point of seawater is always greater than boiling point of salt solution. It may be nearly 103 degrees Celsius. Reason. To study that reason only, we need to study a new concept today that is called as colligative property. Why? Whenever a salt is added into water, automatically the boiling point of water, or if you take the freezing point of pure water is 0 degrees Celsius, but freezing point of salt solution is minus 0.3 or something degrees Celsius, means less than 0 degrees Celsius. Means whenever a solid solute is added into the liquid solvent, it involved in the formation of dilute solution. In this dilute solution, the vapor pressure, boiling point, freezing point, etc. get varies when compared to the pure solvent. This is due to the presence of solute particles. And this property of the solution is called as colligative property. Then what is meant by colligative property? A property which depends only on the number of solute particles, because 1 gram added, it becomes 103. If I added to 2 grams, it is same. It may becomes 106 degrees Celsius minus 0.6 degrees Celsius. For our convenience, to make you to understand, I am writing like this. That's all. If it is 3 grams, it may becomes 110 degrees Celsius, or it may becomes 0.9 degrees Celsius. Like this means the property which depends only on the number of solute particles present in the solution, but not on its nature, size and chemical composition. Is called as colligative property. This colligative property can be classified into 4 types: relative lowering of vapor pressure, elevation of boiling point, depression in freezing point, and final one is osmotic pressure. In today's class, we are going to deal with mainly 2 concepts: relative lowering of vapor pressure, and I am going to also teach you what is the meaning of elevation of boiling point. Coming to the first concept of colligative property. To understand what is meant by relative lowering of vapor pressure, first we need to deal with what is the meaning of lowering of vapor pressure. I took one closed container. In this closed container, I am pour as liquid solvent. This solvent molecule possesses kinetic energy. Therefore, they collide with each other, and these molecules will comes to the surface, at surface, when pressure of liquid becomes exactly equal to atmospheric pressure, they get converted into vapor phase. They get converted into vapor phase. So in vapor phase also, as the number of molecules in the vapor phase increases, they also collide with each other and they created the pressure, and that pressure is called as vapor pressure of pure solvent, which is represented as P naught. This is the pressure exerted by the pure solvent. P naught indicates vapor pressure of pure solvent. Pure solvent. To the same solvent, now I am going to add a few solute particles. For example, I took one solvent, liquid solvent. So liquid solvent like water. Into this I am going to add a salt like sodium chloride. When sodium chloride is added into water, it undergoes dissociation to form Na plus and Cl minus ion. Like this we will think. Or or I can also represent like this. Whenever a salt is added, which is made up of AA components, when treated with water, it involved in the formation of salt solution. In salt solution, A and AR get completely free. So to get the free, it should have to break the bond. How it get break the bond? Some solvent molecules possess kinetic energy. Not some sorry, all the solvent molecules possess kinetic energy, and some solvent molecules utilized the kinetic energy of some solvent molecules utilized to break this bond in solution. Means, for example, think that here in this case, if there are 100 solvent molecules are there, to this if I added a very small amount of solute out of 100, think that 20 solvent molecules are utilized to break the bond exist between the two atoms. Therefore, salt can easily soluble in water to form salt solution. Therefore, in solution, out of 100, now how many it becomes? 80 solvent molecules are there. In solution, number of solvent molecules decreases. Why? Because some solvent molecules utilized for the dissociation of salt in water. Now, it also, even these solvent molecules also create the pressure on the surface of the liquid, and that pressure is represented as P. What does P indicates? Vapor pressure of solution. Now the question arises whether P naught and P are same or different. Completely different. The vapor pressure of the pure solvent is always greater than the vapor pressure of the solution. I given the explanation why. Always the vapor pressure of the pure solvent is greater than vapor pressure of the solution, because in case of pure solvent, the number of kinetic energy molecules is more. In case of solution, the number of kinetic energy molecules becomes less, because some of the kinetic energy molecules utilized for the dissociation of salt in solvent. Hence, what is the meaning of lowering of vapor pressure? It is the difference between vapor pressure of pure solvent to the vapor pressure of solution. Difference between vapor pressure of pure solvent to the vapor pressure of the solution. Note it down. Next, coming to relative lowering of vapor pressure. I need to find out the accurate decrease in vapor pressure when a solute is added into solvent. For that purpose, I'll use one concept that is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to P naught minus P. Lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent is called as relative lowering. I am measuring how much vapor pressure of the solution get decreases when compared to the vapor pressure of pure component, which is expressed in terms of relative lowering of vapor pressure. Very simple definition. It is a ratio of lowering of vapor pressure of the solution to the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Ratio of lowering of vapor pressure of the solution to the vapor pressure of pure solvent is called as RLVP, and this is independent of temperature. Temperature will not affect the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Coming to the very important topic of this concept, that is Rolle's law of RLVP, or it is also called as Rolle's law of dilute solution. Students, in class 12th examination, definitely they are going to ask one mass question: state Rolle's law of binary solution or states Rolle's of dilute solution. Dilute solution is applicable when solute is solid, whereas binary solution is applicable when solute is liquids. These things you keep in mind properly. So when we added a non-volatile solute to the solvent, what happens when solute is added into the solvent? It is involved in the formation of dilute solution. So if I check the relative lowering of vapor pressure, P naught minus P naught by P is exactly equal to the mole fraction of the added solute. The lowering vapor pressure of the relative lowering vapor pressure of the solution is exactly equal to the mole fraction of the added solute. This is considered as mathematical statements of Raoult's law. Coming to the limitations of Raoult's law. Raoult's law goods only for non-volatile solid solutes, but not for volatile solid solutes. It is not applicable for any other solute. It is applicable only for non-volatile solid solutes. This law is applicable only for dilute solution, but not for very dilute solutions, but not for concentrated solutions. The most important condition is here: the added solute should not undergo dissociation or association in solution. This is the main condition. The solute should not undergo dissociation or association in solution. Coming to the next, give reason RLVP is a colligative property. P naught minus P divided by P naught is exactly equal to mole fraction of solute. What does it indicate? Whenever the solute present in the solution, then only the vapor pressure of the solution decreases. As the amount of solute goes on increases, the vapor pressure also goes on decreases. It indicates that relative lowering of vapor pressure depends upon the number of solute particles present in the solution, but not on its nature, size and its chemical composition. Please note it down. Next, coming to a relation between molar mass of solute and RLVP from Raoult's law. From Raoult's law, we got an equation: P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute. Since mole fraction of solute is equal to number of moles of solute by number of moles of solute plus number of moles of solvent, N2 is equal to solute, number of moles of solute, and N1 is equal to number of moles of solvent. Okay, ra? Since solute present in less amount when compared to solvent, that is N2 value is very less than N1, therefore mole fraction of solute S2 can be written as N2 divided by N1. Therefore P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to N2 by N1. Since N2 is nothing but weight of solute by molecular weight of solute, by molecular weight of solute, and N1 is nothing but weight of solvent by molecular weight of solvent. So shoot, here we get P naught minus P by P naught is equal to W2 by M2 by W1 by M1, or I can also write it as P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to W2 into M1 by M2 into W1 as the mathematical expression which gives the relationship between relative lowering of vapor pressure of the solution with respect to molecular weight of solute. Please note it down. To determine the actual relative lowering of vapor pressure, one experimental technique has been conducted, that is Ostwald's Walker dynamic method. In this experiment, they took a series of bulbs. Out of 4 bulbs, 2 bulbs is filled with potassium hydroxide solution. It is filled with, think that it is filled with potassium hydroxide bulb solution, and remaining 2 bulbs are taken with only pure form of water. And this series of bulb is connected to the U tube which contains calcium chloride, and it is connected to the GAR tube which is also contains calcium chloride. Okay. And to maintain the constant temperature, all the series of 4 bulbs have been placed in a thermostat. When pure and dry oxygen air, when pure and dry air is allowed to pass through the solution bulbs, in solution bulbs, some of the liquid molecules are get vaporizes, and this is the pressure created by the solution bulbs due to the presence of vapor molecules. As soon as pure and dry air is allowed to pass through the solution bulbs, whatever the vapors created by the solution, it is completely absorbed by the dry air and it is moved out. Therefore, the weight of the solution bulb get decreases, because whatever the molecules which get converted into vapor phase, these vapor phase molecules will move along with the pure and dry air. Therefore, the mass of the solution bulb get decreases. Therefore, loss in mass of solution bulbs is directly proportional to the vapor pressure of the solution. Then this pure and dry air is allowed to pass through the solvent bulbs. In solvent bulbs, the vapor pressure is represented as P naught, and all the vapors present in the solvent bulb also get absorbed by the pure and dry air, and it is moved away. As soon as the vapor pressure, whatever the vapor molecules are there in solvent bulbs also completely removed, their mass also get decreases. Therefore, loss in mass of solvent bulbs is directly proportional to P naught minus P, because vapor pressure of pure solvent is always greater than vapor pressure of the solution. When this dry is moving from here, it not only contains air molecules, it also absorbs the vapor molecules which is created by the solution. Therefore, I should have to remove, therefore P naught minus P. Then this is allowed to pass to the calcium chloride U tube. As soon as here the vapors are get collected, the mass of the calcium chloride get increases. Therefore, how much increases means it indicates that total loss in both, total loss in the mass in both set of bulbs is equal to P plus P naught minus P is equal to P naught. This is the amount of gas gained in the U tube. This is the amount of gas or vapors gained in the U tube. Therefore, P naught minus P divided by P naught, what does it indicates? Loss in mass of solvent bulb by, either I can represent a total loss in the mass of the bulbs or gain in the mass of U tube, that is equal to M1 into W2 divided by M2 into W1. Note it down. Okay students, now we will solve some problems based on Raoult's law of binary solution. The question is like this: vapor pressure of water at 293 Kelvin is 17.535 mm of Hg. Means they given the P naught value, pure water. Calculate the vapor pressure of water when 25 grams of glucose dissolved in 450 grams of water. So I need to calculate what is P, and they given W2 weight of this one is 25 grams and W1 is weight of solvent, that is 450 grams. Glucose, molecular weight of glucose M2 is equal to 180 grams, and we know that molecular weight of water is always equal to 18 grams. So to solve this problem, we got an equation P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to W2 into M1 divided by W1 into M2. What is the P naught they given? 17.535 minus P, which I need to find out, divided by 70.535 is equal to 25 into 18 divided by 180 into 450 is equal to how much? Check it out. Very simple. 25 18s are gone, 18 gone. So 180 into this much. So finally I'll write 180 into 17.535 minus P is equal to 17.535. Therefore, what will be the P value at the end? Finally, the P value becomes 17.44 mm of Hg. So what does it indicates? Actually, the P naught value is 17.535 mm of Hg. When very small amount of solute is added into the solvent, the vapor pressure of the solution decreases from 17.535 to 17.4, and the decrease is very less because we are dealing with the concept called as dilute solution. Okay, note it down. Now the second question is calculate the vapor pressure of the solution at 100 degrees Celsius. It's not here, it is like this. At 100 degrees Celsius containing 3 grams of cane sugar in 33 grams of water. At 100 degrees Celsius, okay, we need to find out. When temperature is exactly equal to 373.15 Kelvin, then vapor pressure of pure water is always equal to 760 mm of Hg. These things we have taught in the first year PUC under the chapter called as states of matter. So I need to calculate what is the vapor pressure of the solution. So they given W2 is equal to 3 grams, W1 is equal to 33 grams, and M1 is equal to 18 grams, and M2 means cane sugar, that is sucrose, 342 grams. So we got an equation P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to W2 into M1 divided by W1 into M2. Substitute the data into the above equation. 760 minus P divided by 760 is equal to 33 into 18 divided by not 33, 3 into 18 divided by 33 into 342. Now solve it. On solving, we get P value how much? P is equal to 756.3 mm of Hg. So this is the vapor pressure of pure water, and this is the vapor pressure of the solution, and P naught should be greater than P. You need to check it out whether you have done the problem right or wrong. Then it will be this concept you should have to use. If in the given answer, if P naught is greater than P, then it indicates you have solved the question properly. Note down the question. Question is very simple. The vapor pressure of water they given how much? 12.3 kilopascal. Vapor pressure of water is given 12.3 kilopascal. That is P naught. P naught is equal to 12.3 kilopascal they given. We should have to calculate the vapor pressure of the solution. What is the vapor pressure of solution? Is how much? for 1 molar solution of non-volatile solute. What is meaning of 1 molar solution? 1 mole of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. We know that 1 molar means 1 mole of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. Therefore, number of moles of solute I got. Number of moles of solute is equal to 1. But here it is in kg. Therefore, I need to convert it to number of moles of solvent. Number of moles of solvent is equal to 1 kg means 1000 by molecular weight of water is 18. That is equal to 55.55 mole. Okay, now we know that P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute N2 divided by N1 plus N2. Therefore, 12.3 minus P divided by 12.3 is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus 55.55. So on solving this, we get P is equal to 12.083 kilopascal is obtained. So P naught is 12.3 and P is 12.0. So it indicates that P naught is greater than P. Hence I solved the problem properly. Hence the answer. Note it down. Now question is very simple. Calculate the mass of non-volatile solute having the molecular mass 40 gram per mole, which should be dissolved in 114 grams of octane C8H18 to reduce its vapor pressure to 80%. Reduced vapor pressure is 80% means then actual vapor pressure of the pure solvent will be 100%. W1 is equal to, they given 114 grams of octane. Since molecular mass of octane is also 1114 grams, I need to find out W2 is equal to how much, and they have given the value of M2 is equal to 40 grams. We know that P naught minus P divided by P naught is always equal to W2 into M1 by W1 into M2. I need to calculate what is W2. So P naught is to 100 minus 80 divided by 100 is equal to W2 into M1 is 114 divided by W1 is 114 into what is M2, 40, gone. Therefore 100 minus 80 becomes 20, 20 into 40, 800. Therefore W2 is equal to 800 divided by 100. Therefore the answer is 8 grams. So to reduce the vapor pressure from 100% to 80%, this is the mass of solute we should have to add. Please note it down. Next question. The vapor pressure of pure water at 298 Kelvin is they given. P naught value they given. P naught value they already given. If 50 grams of urea, molecular mass of urea we know that 60 grams, is dissolved in 850 grams of water. Is dissolved in 850 grams of water. Calculate the vapor pressure of water for this solution and its relative lowering of vapor pressure. First we need to calculate P. P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to W2 into M1 by W1 into M2. That is 23.8 minus P divided by 23.8 is equal to, what is W2 they given, 50 into 18 divided by 850 into 60. Therefore we get P is equal to 23.38 mm of Hg. So the vapor pressure of solution is less than vapor pressure of pure solvent. Now I need to calculate RLVP. P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to 23.8 minus 23.38 divided by 23.8. Therefore, P naught minus P divided by P naught, it is a ratio, is always equal to 0.0176. Understood? Please note it down. Okay, students, now we are dealing with the second concept of colligative property, that is elevation in boiling point. Elevation in boiling point. So first we need to learn what is the actual meaning of boiling point. Then we will go with what is the meaning of elevation in boiling point. For example, I will take a container, open container. I will take an open container. Into this open container, I am going to pour a solvent. For us, the solvent is water. All these water molecules possess kinetic energy. They collide with each other and they undergo vaporization. We know that. But if I want to do the vaporization very rapidly, what I am going to do? I am going to heat this. As soon as I start heating the water molecule, all the water molecule possess kinetic energy and that get vaporizes. When? They undergo vaporization easily when? The condition is when the pressure created by the liquid should be exactly equal to atmospheric pressure. When the pressure of the liquid becomes exactly equal to atmospheric pressure, automatically the liquid molecules get converted into vapor molecules. The liquid molecules are get converted into vapor molecules. So a temperature at which the pressure of the liquid becomes exactly equal to atmospheric pressure, that temperature is called as boiling point of liquid. That temperature is called as boiling point of liquid. Okay, now I will go with boiling point with the two ways. Normal boiling point of liquid and standard boiling point of liquids. For water, I will give the example with respect to normal boiling point as well as standard boiling point. In case of normal boiling point, if the external pressure is taken as 1 atmosphere, either it should be 1 atmosphere pressure or it should be taken as 101.325 kilopascal. If I represent the external pressure in terms of either 1 atmosphere or 101.325 kilopascal, then the boiling point will be 99.97 degrees Celsius. Then the normal boiling point of water will be 99.97 degrees Celsius. If I am going to explain the boiling point of water in terms of standard, then P external should be either in 1 bar or it should be 100 kilopascal pressure. The pressure get decreases. Automatically boiling point decreases 99.61 degrees Celsius. So this is the standard boiling point of water and this will be the normal boiling point of water. Now the question is, what is the meaning of elevation? So again I will take two containers, closed containers I will take, or I will take open containers also, nothing will happen. I am going to pour the water in both the cases. Think that here 100 solvent molecules are there, but whenever salt is added, the number of solvent molecules from 100 to it becomes 80. The number of solvent molecules, it becomes from 100 to 80. So in this case, how many kinetic energy molecules are there? 100 kinetic energy molecules are there. In this case, there are only 80 kinetic energy molecules are there. This is solvent and this is solution. Now I am going to boil both the components. I am going to boil the solvent as well as I am going to boil the solution. If solvent get boils up, think that if solvent get boils up at 30 degrees Celsius, think that the solvent get boils up at exactly 30 degrees Celsius, but the solution get boils up at 35 degrees Celsius. Now the question arises, why the boiling point of solution is greater than its pure solvent? Why the boiling point of solution is greater than its pure solvent? The reason is, in pure solvents the number of kinetic energy molecules are more, therefore the water molecules or the solvent molecules easily get vaporizes at one particular temperature. But in case of solution, the number of kinetic energy molecules are less, therefore it requires more extra amount of heat energy. It requires more extra amount of heat energy to get vaporizers. Therefore, the boiling point of solution is always greater than the boiling point of pure solvent. If the boiling point of pure solvent is represented as T naught B, boiling point of pure solvent, and boiling point of solution is represented as TB, then the difference between these two is and the delta, and the condition is boiling point of solution is always greater than boiling point of pure solvent. Then the difference between the boiling point of pure solvent to that of boiling point solution is like this: delta TB is equal to TB minus T naught B. So what happens when a solute is added to the solvent? The number of kinetic energy molecule decreases. Therefore, it requires some extra amount of heat energy to convert into liquid into vapor phase. In solvent, already more number of kinetic energy molecules are there, therefore it undergo easily vaporization. But here it requires some amount of heat energy to get vaporized, because here when I move from solvent to solution, the liquid vapor pressure becomes minimum when compared to the liquid vapor pressure of solvent. So delta TB indicates increase in boiling point. That increasing boiling point is called as elevation in boiling point. Students, I think you have been understood. So what is the meaning of elevation in boiling point? Increase in boiling point. That is, it is defined as, it is a difference between boiling point of solution to the boiling point of pure solvent. It is a difference between boiling point of the solution to the boiling point of pure solvent is called as elevation in boiling point, which is represented by the symbol delta TB, which is represented by the symbol delta TB. Please note it down. Now I am going to explain the elevation in boiling point by using a graph. The graph I am going to plot like this: vapor pressure versus temperature, and this is exactly equal to 1 atmospheric pressure. So below 1 atmospheric pressure, the molecules are present in liquid state. Above 1 atmospheric pressure, the molecules are present in vapor phase. Okay, ra? So I will go into plot two graphs. This is one graph and this is another graph. This graph indicates solvent vaporization. This graph indicates solution vaporization. So at this point, this is the point where the solvent liquid molecules get vaporizers, and this is the point or pressure where the liquid molecules of solution get vaporizers. So this is considered as boiling point of pure solvent, and this is considered as boiling point of solution, and this is considered as elevation in boiling point. Okay, we know that this vapor pressure is directly proportional to temperature. Based on this concept, I have written this one. Note it down. Okay, students. So elevation in boiling point, delta TB is directly proportional to M. Mathematically, it is represented like this: delta elevation in boiling point is directly proportional to the molality of the solution, or delta TB is always equal to Kb into M. Delta TB is always equal to Kb into M. Now the question arises, what is meant by Kb? It is called as proportionality constant, or it is also called as Molal elevation constant or ebullioscopic constant. What is this meaning? Increase in boiling point produced. Elevation in boiling point produced by dissolving 1 mole of solute. By dissolving 1 mole of solute in 1 kg of solvent. By dissolving 1 mole of solute in 1 kg of solvent. Hence, the value of molar elevation constant for water, benzene I have given in terms of degrees as well as in terms of Kelvin remains same. Please note it down. Now, relation between elevation in boiling point and molecular weight of solute. We know that delta Tb is directly proportional to molality of the solution, or delta Tb is equal to Kb into m. What is meant by m? Molality. Molality means molality of solution is equal to weight of solute into 1000 by molecular weight of solute into mass of solvent. Mass of solvent in grams. Substitute this one into this equation, we get delta Tb is always equal to Kb into W2 into 1000 by molecular weight of solute m2 into weight of solvent in grams. So this is the mathematical expression which gives the relationship between elevation in boiling point with respect to molecular weight of solute. Thermodynamically, elevation in boiling point has been calculated by the concept called as latent heat of vaporization, and it is represented as delta Tb is always equal to R into T naught B whole square, where R is called as universal gas constant, by 1000 into LV. What is the meaning of LV? Latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization. And we know that delta H vaporization is always equal to latent heat of vaporization into molar mass of solvent. Therefore, this can be written as delta Tb is equal to R into T naught B square into molar mass of solvent by 1000 into enthalpy of vaporization, where unknown is nothing but molar mass of solute. Molar mass of solute. Please note it down. Next, very important question is elevation in boiling point is a colligative property. Give reason. First, directly write down the equation. We know that delta Tb is directly proportional to m. What does it indicates? Very simple. Elevation in boiling point depends upon the molality of the solution. Molality depends upon the number of solute particles present in the solution, but it does not depends on the nature, size and chemical composition. Therefore, elevation in boiling point is a colligative property. Now, problems based on elevation in boiling point. The question is given. Molecular weight of organic compound is 58 gram per mole. They are given W2. Calculate the boiling point of solution containing. Sorry, this is molecular weight. No, M2 they are given. M2 value they are given. Calculate boiling point of solution containing W2, that is 24 grams of solute, in W1, that is 600 grams of water. The boiling point of water T naught B they are given. T naught B is 100 degrees Celsius and Kb of water is given. So what we need to calculate? Calculate the boiling point of solution, that is Tb I need to calculate. So we know that delta Tb is equal to Tb minus T naught B. I need to calculate this one given 100. I need to calculate first this one. Delta Tb is equal to Kb into W2 into 1000 by M2 into W1. which can be written as delta TB is equal to, what is the KB value given? 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole. So everything will cancel, we get only in terms of Kelvin, nothing to worry. Into W2 is 24 into 1000 divided by what is the molecular weight? 58 gram per mole. So mole get cancelled. So if you want to place all the units, we can pass it Kelvin kg per mole into what is the weight they given, W2. W2 is 24 gram into 1000 divided by what is M2 they given, 58 gram per mole into W1 they given 600 grams. 600 grams, or if you remove this, you can convert into kgs. I'm going to remove this. So 600 divided by 1000 kg. So kg per mole, grams, gram gone. We get the unit in terms of Kelvin. So what is the value we are getting here means 0.358 Kelvin. I got this value. Now therefore delta TB is equal to TB minus T naught B, or TB is equal to T naught B plus delta TB, that is equal to 100 plus 0.358, that is equal to 100.358 degree Celsius. Note it down. So you may ask, sir, here you are taking Kelvin, or here they given KB is equal to 0.52 Kelvin, or it can also written as 0.52 degrees Celsius kg per mole. Then automatically it is also equal to 0.358 degree Celsius. That's all. Second question is 18 grams of glucose, that is W2. Glucose means 180 grams. 180 grams, that is M1, is dissolved in 1 kg of water. Is dissolved in 1 kg of water, that is W1. At what temperature will water boils at 1.103 bar Kb they given. So we know that delta TB is equal to Kb into M. First I will find the molality. Molality means number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of water. So 18 divided by 180 is becomes 0.1 molal. So delta TB is equal to KB they given 0.52 into 0.1, that is equal to 0.052 Kelvin. So what is, I need to calculate what temperature the water boils up when 18 grams of glucose dissolved in it, means delta TB is always equal to TB minus T naught B. Okay ra? At 1.13 bar pressure, what is the boiling point of pure water is 373.15 Kelvin. So this is a standard standard boiling point of water. Therefore delta dB we have been calculated, that is 0.052 is equal to boiling point of solution minus 373.15. Therefore TB is equal to 373.15 plus 0.052 is equal to 373.202 Kelvin. Question is boiling point of water at 750 mm of Hg, they given 99.63. This is boiling point of water. Okay ra? How much sucrose to be added to 500 grams of water such that it boils at, this is 100 degrees Celsius. So it is T naught B they given, and it is TB, pure water at this pressure. what amount of sucrose I should need to add into water so that the boiling point get decreases from 99.63 to 100 degrees Celsius. First I will calculate elevation in boiling point is always equal to Tb minus T naught B, that is equal to 100 minus 99.63 becomes how much? 0.37 degrees Celsius. Delta Tb is equal to W2 into 1000 to kb by m2 into mass of solvent in grams. I need to find out W2. Therefore, I will write it W2 is equal to delta Tb into m2 into W1 divided by W2, sorry, not W2, delta Tb kb into 1000, okay, that is equal to 0.37 into 500 into sucrose molecular weight is 342. This is M2 and this is W1 divided by 0.52 into 1000. Therefore, W2 is equal to 121.6 grams. Note it down. The boiling point of solution which containing this amount of solute in this amount of solvent was found to be 0.1, means when this amount of solute is added into solvent, the boiling point of the solution increased by 1 degree Celsius. The boiling point of solution increased by 1 degree Celsius. We need to calculate the molecular weight of the substance, that is delta Tb is equal to W2 into Kb into 1000 by M2 into W1. I need to find out what is M2. Therefore, M2 is equal to W2 into Kb into 1000 by delta Tb into W1, that is 0.105 into what is Kb, 2.02 into 1000 divided by increase in boiling point is 0.1 into ether, they given 15.84. Therefore, molecular weight of solute is 133.9 gram per moles. Please note it down. Okay student, thanks you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe and please share the videos also for, and have a nice day.